Welcome back, friends. Last guy here. Time for more voice LP of this case. Now, the question, of course, is: do I remember these voices? Probably not Lippy. Probably not Lippy. Oh yeah, we got this guy on the blood print that he put on the board. So you wiped off the blood from your hand on the floor of the room? Are you quite sure about that? Well, what else do you expect me to have done, eh? Does it really matter?
Objection!
The police found no such handprint on the floor during their investigations. What exactly is the defense asserting?
Objection!
If you listen, you'll find out. Prosecutor Asogi. Ooh! Certainly there was no blood handprint found. Certainly there was no bloody handprint found on the floor. What are you trying to say? There was a handprint in blood left very clearly at the scene. On the back of this notice board. Ah, yes, indeed. Indisputably a handprint in the distinctive color of blood. You're dead right. That's my right hand. I'd know it anywhere. Okay. Hot actual hero? What? The witness very definitely testified that he wiped his hand on the floor. Any handprints on the back of the board are irrelevant.
Objection!
Not if the board itself had fallen over onto the floor. In that case, it's quite possible for the witness's handprint to have ended up there. Oh! Oh! I get what's coming. I get it. Just look at the floor plan of the room. The notice board was in the opposite corner of the room to the victim, and in an upright position. Even if it had somehow been toppled and was lying on the floor at the time, it would have been a considerable distance from the body. I fell over when I came across the body, so I was basically right next to the corpse, not on the other side of the room. In other words, the defense's assertion is contradictory. Nope. Yes, it is. Yeah. But not in the way he thinks. There is a very definite contradiction here, for which there must be a reason. I take it that you've formulated a proper hypothesis, Counsel, regarding this apparent discrepancy between the witness's account and the handprint found at the scene. I have, my lord. This discrepancy between the witness's account and the location of the handprint is explained by the board moving. The real contradiction here is the handprint itself, not where it was found. As the court can see, it's upside down. Good gracious, so it is. If the witness had put his handprint against the board, the figure should be pointing upwards. What? What does that tell us? It tells one simple fact. When this handprint was made, the board must have been lying on the floor as it previously suggested. Which means that after the incident, it must have been moved. What?
Objection!
You're claiming that somebody moved the notice board after the shooting? Then tell the court who. Huh, I don't know that yet, but the point is, when you consider all the testimony we've heard so far, we can now be very clear on one point. And that would be the position of the notice board at the time of the incident, my lord. So, counsel, I must ask you to clarify your assertion for the court. Let's say court. At the time of the incident, where do you maintain the notice board was situated? Over here.
Take that!
That's why he couldn't see the light. It was right here, my lord. Goodness. No, I'm afraid I don't quite see your logic. Ah, damn, I didn't point correctly. I'm disappointed, Ryosuke. In Japan, we're taught to have patience and respect for our elders. Until his lordship sees your logic, you will know your place and not move from that spot. Great, so I didn't put it exactly enough? How brilliant of Kazuma-sama. That almost sounded unreasonable at first, but he was just thinking of you. Unreasonable? Try unfathomable. Anyway, I think I have the answer now. I know my place, or rather the board's place. Yeah, okay, let me just save, since I didn't... It's gotta be right up on the body, I guess, but let's just save in case it doesn't like what I put. Since it didn't like what I put there, chic. So it's right on top of the body, let's put it there. Okay, works this time. It was right here, my lord. Goodness. No, I'm afraid I don't quite see. Damn it! I gotta put it further over? Let me put it further over. Like right here. Because it's gotta be enough where the candle can't be seen. This is the only possible location. I didn't put it over there! Okay, it's over there now. Alright, okay. Fine. Immediately adjacent to the doorway. But the court would think back to the testimony given by the defendant earlier. He said that when he entered the room, it was dark, and that he couldn't see the body. Bayek! If the notice board had been here, the body would have been completely hidden from view. And the light from the candles would have been blocked, making the room appear darker.
Objection!
But the accused also claims that the victim's body simply appeared before him. Yeah, you can't see it with the board in the way. That's true. Or, in his precise words... She stenographed this. Just as I picked the firearm up to examine it, the door had flown open, and I heard a man scream. It was only then that the body of the Inspector Gregson appeared before me. I don't know about calling it a scream, but he was talking about me and no mistake. Because it was me that kicked the door open. If you look again at the floor plan, consider what would happen if the door to the room was thrown open with force. Yeah. Dunk. Yeah, there you go. That can't be. The door struck the notice board, knocking it over, and making the victim's body visible. Good gracious. My client has told nothing but the truth. He has simply described what he saw. Order. Counsel, how has this not come to light before now? After the incident, somebody must have righted the board and moved it into the position where the police, myself, and my colleagues saw it when investigating the room. Witness, what have you to say for yourself? Why, my lord? You and your fellows were there at the scene before anybody else. It goes without saying that you must know something about the position of the notice board. The witnesses in the stand will testify again. You'll each explain exactly what you did upon arriving at the scene of the crime. Stop looking over your glasses at me. I get the message. Who's got glasses? Who's got glasses? Have I not been paying attention to anyone who has glasses? Does the judge have glasses? The mystery of the moving board. I don't know anything about that there notice board. I was just wiping my hand on it, that's all. Well, don't look at me. I haven't got a clue about it. I was doing business with some second years at the time. I don't know anything about anything. I'm just a bystander, me. Just a sign at the crossroads of life. It was that Reaper, I bet. He's got a face that screams bored. I can't see how this changes anything anyway. The detective still died when we heard the gunshot. Immediately after a murder, she's just selling stuff already? Oh, he does have glasses. Damn, I got no memory already. None of you can elaborate further. Shaken by the crime they witnessed, and with only the light of the few candles and an oil lamp by which to see. We can't expect these witnesses to be able to give a more precise account of what happened. That's right, yeah. It don't pay to expect too much. It's man's endless quest for knowledge that's destroying the world. That's what I think. Do you really? In any case, as this testimony shows, even if the notice board was moved by somebody following the incident, it makes no difference. When the gunshot rang out, the accused was the only person at the scene. In short, the only person who could possibly have committed this crime is Barak von Zeeks. None of this wrangling over the board changes that simple fact. Quite so, quite so. Does the defense still wish to cross-examine the witnesses despite the circumstances? Most certainly, my lord. Fine. Very well, then you may proceed, counsel. Cross-examination. The mystery of the moving board. Alright, here we go.
Hold it!
Race. So admit it was the board you wiped your bloody hand on? Admit it? What's to admit? It's there plain as day for all to see. A smashing print in my right hand. Perhaps you wanted to hide that handprint? So you righted the notice board and pushed it onto the corner, did you? No, I imagined a weight of that great lump. Do I look like a powerful and well-nurtured man? Well, did you see anybody else moving the board? I got nerves of steel, I can tell you. But even I had my limits. There was a body on the floor in front of me, and the Grim Reaper himself standing over it. And there was precious little light inside either. My bottom lip was all a quiver. In other words, this witness is unable to give definite testimony on that point. Yes, so it would seem. Alright, so that was a waste. Did a match with my eyes. Yep. When you say you were doing business with them, you mean you were selling them fireworks? Yeah, what else? There's the Priory School just around the corners, you see. Those cheeky little so-and-sos have got the plan to blow their school to Kingdom Come. So I've been telling on them, letting their teachers know what they're up to. Ooh. Oh, you have? Yeah, wouldn't want anyone to get hurt. So I let the school know the kids are playing with dodgy toys. Then praise the Lord, the teachers take all the fireworks off of them. Yep, that's the plan. And then, praise the Lord again, the kids all come back to me to buy more. Everyone's happy, right? What a racket! Yeah. Of course. And sometimes the teachers give me a little bonus to thank me for letting them know. It's a busy hard life, selling explosives. Venus is a guileful goddess indeed. Ah! Well, telling barefaced lies is kind of my thing, really. I'm ever so good at it. That gets sandwich attention. Scary. The important point is, you didn't go inside the room where the inspector was killed, isn't that right? Definitely not. I wouldn't have dreamed of it, would I? Alright, so go back. Let's get that now. Hit the wrong button. I meant to hit press, not present. Press send. Like I made quite the sound. Alright, right when she throws them, I think? Yeah, right here. Freaking A, man.
Excuse me.
Something wrong, Mr. Sandwich? If I said I was, could we just leave it at that? Would that be the end of it? No. Did Miss Venus' statement just now bring something to mind, perhaps? Philosophical thoughts, deep philosophical thoughts. Let's say there was a great liar, and that great liar said without batting an eye, telling barefaced lies is kind of my thing. I'm ever so good at it. Would those words of hers be a lie too, or the truth, in which case she's not a liar? Oh, it's a hellish paradox, that one, don't you think? I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. But It seems to me you're suggesting Miss Venus has been lying, are you? Oh no, don't look at her. What are you on about, old man? Trying to cause trouble, are you? Keep on like that. There it is. And I'll wrap your whole body in firecrackers and set 'em off. That'll give you something to tremble about. You have a startlingly disturbing mind behind that sweet and innocent face, young lady. So Miss Venus has lied in her testimony. Is that what you're saying, Mr. Sandwich? Well, if it means I'll be burning in hellfire for the rest of my days, so be it. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Can you elaborate, please, sir? Old Blabbermouth here headed for the room where the gunshot seemed to come from. But there was someone else who crept up the stairs behind him, too. That's right. That rotten eye over there. Uh-oh. Do you mean to say that you did in fact betake yourself to the scene of the crime after all? What did I tell you, eh? Pass it that way? Nope, to us, okay. I said I was good at telling barefaced lies, didn't I? Yes, you mentioned it. Well, that revelation rocked the whole courtroom, didn't it? Who knew firecrackers packed such a punch? So you did indeed visit the scene of the crime, did you, young lady? Good grief. Well, now you come to mention it. I suppose perhaps I do clearly remember climbing the stairs to the room, yeah? Either you clearly remembered or you don't. Well, I shall consider a fitting punishment for this perjurious act later. For the time being, you will immediately amend your testimony to reflect the truth. Oh yes, my lord, of course. Maybe I did sneak along behind gossip and have a little peek into the room where it all happened.
Hold it!
You make a habit of lying, do you, Miss Venus? Venice. Well, I suppose so. I don't really know, to be fair. If you want my advice, though, I'd take everything I say with a big pinch of salt. Alright, but you did in fact go to the room where the victim was killed on the day in question, didn't you? Oh, please, as if I would. I can't think of anything more terrifying. The truth, please. Well, alright, just a bit then. I mean, a girl my age just cares about stuff, you know. Did you touch anything at the scene? Oh, please, as if I would. I mean, there was a dead body on the floor. The truth, please. Well, alright, just a bit then. I had a look to see if there was anything I could sell. So I did give the place a once-over, but it was nothing to write home about. Right, now, I hesitate to ask, but you didn't move the notice board by any chance, did you? Oh, please, as if I would touch anything like that. Just a few bits of loose change is all I had. The truth, please. Well, alright then, I thought there might be something worth having underneath it. So I blasted the flippin' thing. Sorry, flipped the blasted thing. Huh? Oh? You're telling us that you did move that board? I think that did slip out, didn't it? What? You daft bomb part? I don't believe it. The girl doesn't think. So, did you find anything then? Something that you might have taken, perhaps? To sell? Oh, please, I should be so lucky in my imagination. The truth, please. I'm loving this joke. I might have found this old pocket watch underneath the notice board, I suppose. But a bit old junk like this can't be worth much if you fat. Ah! Oh! Gina. So it was you, was it? You're the one who took it. What took it? Yeah. Gina? Young lady, may I remind you where you are? That watch there. That was a present to Inspector Gregson from the yard. A big case solved 10 years ago. This voice is not working right now, oh god. The professor case, no doubt. The boss used to wind it up every evening without fail, when he was waiting for his grub to come at the pub. I see. I swiped it off him once and blimey, was he upset. He gave me a right earful. Said he hadn't missed a day in the last 10 years polishing it and winding it. It meant the world to him, that watch did. Possibly not the best thing to go diving for, then. It's not all that, though. I took it to Jabez that night to ask how much it was worth, but the old dealer wouldn't touch it. Wouldn't give me a penny for it. Said it wasn't working, knocked about and worthless, he called it. Oh, it's gonna give us the time of death. Ah, I knew I should have lifted it. I got no voice for that lady. I've never had a voice for Gina. That watch must be submitted as evidence at once. Oh, please, just so long as you promise to give her back when we're done. Not a chance. I'll slap it from you if you try to get your grubby mitts on it again. That's enough. Hand the watch to the bailiff forthwith. Now, children, watch your manners. Good lord. The glass appears to be broken. More than likely it shattered when the inspector was shot. It doesn't tick anymore either. Which is why Jabez didn't want it. What a waste, eh? Yes, indeed. It appears to have stopped at the hour of 5. Exactly when the gunshot was heard, then. Which supports the prosecution's claim, of course. Gregson's pocket watch has been entered into the court record. We gotta take a look at this now, immediately. Boop! Let's take a look at it. The glass over the face really is badly cracked, look. What a shame when Inspector clearly looked after it so carefully. I imagine Mr. Sholmes could fix it, don't you? Yes, I should think so. He's very adept at things like this. Useful man to have around, in fact. But kindly remember that he's a great detective, Mr. Naruto. Not an odd job man. No deal. There's a tiny little stub sticking out from this small hole here. Look. I suppose there must have been a little knob or something for that, on that for setting the time. Oh, he has to stick with them. In that case, seeing as we know the inspector took such good care of this watch, it probably broke when the incident occurred, didn't it? Yes, of course. Which could mean that there's a small part of the watch still at the scene, maybe. There's the key. Or whatever the... Ah, there's a little keyhole here. Can you see? Oh yes, that's probably for the winder used to wind up the mechanism. It looks a little unusual, don't you think? Yes, you'd need just the right key to wind it, I imagine. Why do I feel as though I've seen something? Something a bit like a key that's about the right size to fit in this hole. It would be wonderful if we had the key. Let's check carefully over what we've already found. Right. There it is. Okay, now we look at the key and then we'll progress here. Okay. Mrs. Sato, do you think perhaps this key could be the key for Inspector Gregson's watch? Oh yes, it could be. Let's try it at once. There's not a moment to lose. Okay. I knew it! A perfect fit! And look! The inspector's watch has started going again. Ah, so it has obviously not been wound it, that's all. So it didn't break when he got shot, so 5 o'clock's just whenever he wound it. That's proving something. What is it, Mrs. Sato? Well, if the watch isn't actually broken after all, I have a feeling it could have profound implications. She's deep in thought now. Perhaps I'd better start thinking deeply too. Yeah, that means it didn't break at the murder time. That's very important. Not winding anymore now, though. Weird. That should be it, though. It would appear that the mystery of the moving notice board has been solved at least. And as predicted, it had very little bearing on the case. No, it matters. Now then, continue with your cross-examination, please, Counsel. It had a lot of bearing, actually. Not pressing. But you did go to see what had happened in the room, didn't you? Fresno Street is my whole world. It's all I know, and I know all of it. I have to make it my business to know if I want to hold my son up high. So you did go to see what had happened? It's not the destination that's important, it's how you get there, isn't it? Did you notice the notice board in the room? If you think about it, we're both the same species, aren't we? Both different members of the sun family. So if I'd spotted it, I might have tried to trip it up. Out of a sense of rivalry, I admit. Someone really needs to tell you that you're Homo sapiens, not Homo science. Does that mean that you didn't notice the notice board? I can only repeat what I said before. I don't know anything about anything. I'm just a bystander, me. Just a sign of the crossroads of life. In which case, just who was responsible for moving the notice board? Yeah, crap. Hit the wrong button.
Hold it!
What exactly do you mean by that? Oh, come on now. Don't tell me you've not noticed. He looks like he hates everything in the world, that fella. But not notice boards. They're the one thing he likes. You can see it in his eyes. That's stupid. I can't say I'd ever noticed. I'll tell you one thing for free, though. I never took my eyes off that man on the floor, or off the reaper, not for a second. Sorry? Well, I was that scared I couldn't. You never know what a fiend like that might do to you if you look away, do you? If you didn't take your eyes off the defendant, you should be able to confirm categorically whether or not he was the one who moved the notice board. We're already beyond this point, but they're still on this talk. Okay, that's unfortunate. That I can. The Reaper did nothing of the sort, I can swear to that. I couldn't have missed it if he'd heaved the thing upright again and dragged it into the corner. Right. Well, we've cleared that up. What happened to the face that screams bored? I feel your pain, Kazuma.
Hold it!
It was 5 o'clock in the afternoon that you all heard the loud bang, wasn't it? Maybe the notice board fell over, or maybe it didn't. Maybe I fell over, or maybe I didn't. But the Reaper's fate is sealed either way because of that gunshot we all heard. So your fate's sealed too. My fate? That's right. The defense is fated to lose, and the prosecution to win. In other words, it all hinges on that single gunshot. So if I could just find some problem with that part of their story, it may be possible to change all our fates. Of course, none of that changes the fact that I heard what I heard, does it? Not much to go on. As you pointed out, Miss Naruto, there's no question that the notice board was moved, so somebody must have done it. But it did happen after the event, so maybe Cosmo is right, and it's not relevant to the case. But it seems to have been deliberately positioned so as to hide the body from view. So I feel sure that there's some deeper significance to all of this. Yes, I know what you mean. I've no doubt there are more clues to be uncovered. You're on the right track, I can feel it. So follow your instincts. Alright then. This one we're gonna use the pocket watch right here, I figure. Let's hope we just present it, right?
Objection!
Yep, okay, we're good. I'm afraid that's not necessarily the case. Oh? At the scene, we found this key to the winder of the inspector's pocket watch. A key? And having wound the pocket watch, we discovered that it in fact still works. You see, the watch didn't stop because it was broken at all. And that fact completely undermines one of the most fundamental premises on which this entire case has been built. What? I was like, what? Order, order, order! But counsel, the watch was stopped at almost exactly 5 o'clock. Yeah, which is just when we heard the gunshot. It is exactly the hour. The time that was showing on the watch tells us nothing other than when it wound down. It's merely a coincidence that it had happened to be at 5 o'clock.
Objection!
Even if that's true, the 3 witnesses here all heard the gunshot at 5 o'clock. So that's obviously when this crime was committed.
Objection!
No, that doesn't hold. Why not? Recall what Inspector Lestrade said, only moments ago. The boss used to wind it up every evening without fail, when he was waiting for his girl to come at the pub. Said he hadn't missed a day in the last 10 years, polishing it and winding it. It meant the world to him, that watch did. The victim was in the habit of winding his watch once a day, in the evening. We can reasonably assume, therefore, that he wound the timepiece on the evening before he died as well. Yes, that would be entirely reasonable. But if that's the case, you wouldn't expect the watch to have completely wound down by 5 o'clock the following day. Oh, hi. Whatever, she said. In summary, the evening before the day of the incident, when the gunshot rang out in that room, the inspector was already unable to wind his watch. You can't mean... What would stop a man winding his watch if he's been in the habit of winding it every single evening for 10 years? The obvious answer is that he was already dead. Order, order, counsel. That is a most extraordinary claim.
Objection!
Extraordinary isn't the word. It's absurd. You claim that he was already dead that night before? You really think that Scotland Yard's coroner would have overlooked something like that? Well, on that subject, there's something rather surprising. There's actually an omission in the coroner's report. The time of death is not noted. That's right! Wait a minute, you're forgetting that my legs went from under me when I kicked the door in. What do you mean? Like I said, I planted my hand in a dirty great puddle of blood. Yes, so the victim's blood hadn't dried. It was fresh. He catches on fast, doesn't he?
Objection!
But that blood could be explained in any number of ways. He could have been put there afterwards. Some fresh blood could have been poured over the victim's body after he... Does my learned friend think the fresh blood is available on every street corner? Ah! Yeah, that's a good point. Well, it needn't necessarily have been human blood, of course. We've been told previously that Scotland Yard has no way to identify blood as human. The problem is currently being researched. At present, you are correct. It is beyond our abilities. So then, a chicken's blood could have been used, for example. That's weird. It's certainly a possibility that it wasn't the inspector's blood at all. Rabble. But the gunshot was heard at 5 o'clock that afternoon. That's beyond question. Is it, though? What? Given that the time of death of the victim has already been called into question, it isn't beyond the realms of possibility that what these witnesses heard wasn't a gunshot at all. Oh, please, what are you trying to say? Just a big throw in your face like you should be using the firecrackers. Us not know what we heard, and it was a loud bang that came from that there room. You listen to me. A street seller's ears are his livelihood. I don't doubt your ears, sir, but all you can state with certainty is that you heard a noise. Eh? Explain yourself then, Counsel. A noise that sounds like a gunshot. Could have been made with... That's why we did this earlier.
Take that!
Something like this. The culprit could have set off one of these to fake a gunshot. Good gracious! If every fireworks that are sold by the witness... Now hold on a minute. Are you saying I did it? My pretty little firecrackers only make a little pop anyway. See? Not 100 of them together. The Venus Special that you sell for 600 pennies sounds like this. Burn! As the court can now attest. It sounds very much like a gunshot, in fact. Ah! You're trying to suggest that somebody set off one of those fireworks at the scene? I'm suggesting that somebody knew the defendant was in the room at 5 o'clock, and sought to implicate him by creating a sound like a gunshot for these peddlers on Fresno Street to hear.
Objection!
But even the accused himself has testified that he saw no one else in the room at the time. Whether it was a gun or a firecracker, the only person present to cause that bang was Barak von Zeeks. One whiff of a match and my firecrackers go pop. See? That's why people like them. I fear for your fingers, young lady.
Objection!
Recently, during my time here in Britain, I have learned of a very useful invention indeed. Something called a time bomb. Good heavens, a bomb? Yes, a device that allows you to blow up whatever you like, whenever you like. Miss Naruhodo, I worry that your unfortunate phrasing there may lead to yet another international incident. Ah, no, wait. It's the whenever you like part that's important. A time device? Yes, exactly. A time device. Something of that nature could have been planted at the scene. A device that was able to produce the sound of a gunshot long after the culprit had left. Your extravagant claim will have to be substantiated with evidence, Counsel. What proof do you have of suggesting that, in any way, a time device was employed to create the gunshot sound? Give me a moment. Could it have been the firecrackers around the candelabrum? Look at the gun a second. Got to save here because I am clueless. Yeah, this is a good stopping point. We'll stop there. Really curious what the hell I'm supposed to use here. Alright, let's shut in the dark this. I'm gonna save the candles. And then we're just gonna stop.
Take that!
Oh god, it is! Yep, okay, he timed it with that. Alright. So that's it for now. I had fun, hope everyone watching. That's what's all about, isn't it? Having fun. Thanks for coming by and see you next time. I guess I'll save since I just put it, so it's fine. Candelabrum. See you later. See you at the next one.